Hello and welcome to StopFake, the place where we uncover disinformation about Ukraine and set the record straight. I'm Brad Wells, an editor, and I'm happy to present this week's edition. Among the fakes this week, we present doctored photos purport to show Nazis in Western Ukraine, non-existent territorial claims kept alive by Russian media, journalistic inaccuracy on Italian television, and what exactly did Mikhail Saakashvili say about the IMF? That's what's ahead in today's edition of StopFake News. Let's get to the chase. A photograph allegedly showing a celebration in Lviv featuring swastikas is making active rounds on social media. The photo features a girl standing beneath a banner reading, "Long live the German army, glory to a free Ukraine." The German eagle, swastikas, and a portrait of Adolf Hitler decorate the banner. In the background, we see a Ukrainian and a Nazi flag flying at the entrance of a building. This photograph surfaced in mid-February on Russian social media site VKontakte and on Twitter. German MP Dieter Den from the Left Party even tweeted this photo. It has since been removed from his Twitter feed, but remains cached. A group on VKontakte used this photo and others like it in a September 2014 post, claiming that Nazis were active in Western Ukraine. In reality, this photograph had nothing to do with Lviv. It was a still from the film Match by Russian director Andrei Malukov. Shot in 2011 in Kharkiv and Kiev, the film told the story about a 1942 football match between Soviet and German players in Nazi-occupied Kiev. The website Ukraina.ru published a story claiming that Ukraine was anticipating increased tension on Serpent Island because of Romanian territorial claims. That is why Ukraine conducted military exercises there. Serpent Island is a volcanic rock island in the Black Sea off the coasts of Romania and Ukraine. According to the Ukrainian State Border Service, Ukraine did hold military exercises on Serpent Island that focused on defending the country's maritime borders. The country's headline, claiming that Romania, Hungary, and Poland had territorial issues with Ukraine, was completely misleading and based on another fake Ukraina.ru claim that the EU-Ukraine Association Agreement provided for restitution of property and territory once held by Romania, Hungary, and Poland. The association agreement between the EU and Ukraine does not deal with restitution issues at all. StopFake has written about fake restitution claims before. Restitution of property is possible only when both countries in question enact necessary laws that determine the scope of the restitution. None of the three countries mentioned in the fake stories have expressed any territorial claims against Ukraine. Last week, while reporting from the Syrian city of Aleppo for the Italian channel TG1, journalist Lucia Gorassi pointed to graffiti written in Cyrillic, said that the letters spelled the name of a Ukrainian city, and concluded that Ukrainians are likely fighting on the side of ISIS. Quote, "This writing is in the Russian alphabet. It is the city of Lviv. Perhaps those who did this came from Ukraine to carry out a jihad," Gorassi said. Gorassi's misleading and completely biased personal assumption is not supported by any evidence shown in her report. In Ukrainian, the city is called Lviv. In Russian, it's Lvov. What is actually written on the wall is Alov. A basic Google search turned up several people with the surname Alov. As Russian forces are present in Syria, it is also possible that perhaps one of them wrote their name on the wall there. Gorassi spent several months in eastern Ukraine covering the Russian invasion of the Donbass for RAI television. Her reports were always filed from separatist-occupied territories. Gorassi never reported from areas controlled by Ukrainian forces. Last week, Russia Today published an article entitled "Saakashvili wants the IMF out of Ukraine." Russia Today claimed that former Georgian President Mikhail Saakashvili wanted to end Ukraine's cooperation with the IMF, whom he compared to a surgeon that would rather amputate an entire arm than heal an ailing finger. Russia Today quite literally twisted the Odessa governor's statement. In an interview with Ukrainian media, Saakashvili said that the IMF often resorted to radical measures regarding national economies, and in an ideal situation, a country would not need financial assistance from the IMF. Saakashvili wrote on his Facebook page that if he had to choose between local corrupt officials without any oversight or control or the IMF program, he would most certainly choose the IMF. Quote, "We must strive not to be governed by kleptocrats. Our economy must grow, and then we won't need IMF programs." As you can see from this quote, what Saakashvili actually said was that Ukraine needed to reform, improve its economy, and end its dependence on IMF bailouts. Yesterday was a day of remembrance in Ukraine to commemorate the deaths of the Heavenly 100 activists and protesters that passed away during the Euromaidan protests 2 years ago. Some Russian media outlets, as always, reported inaccurately on these events. Articles distort their nature as the beginning of a third Maidan and cited rallies as signs of continued unrest. That's it for this week. You can always find fresh fakes set straight on the StopFake website. Be vigilant, beware of fakes, and if you spot any disinformation about Ukraine, forward it to us for a truth autopsy. We'll see you next week. I'm Brad Wells, and this is StopFake.